Hello my friends, how are you doing? Here is a review, a first impression of the Peak Design Capture Clip version 3. I bought it for myself because I always wanted to have something like that, and I used it in my recent photo shoot in Barcelona. Video about that coming soon on my channel. So I want to point out some good things and some bad things about that clip. First of all, having a clip like that on your backpack or on the belt or on your camera bag that you have with you is really useful because it is very easy to use, it's very fast to use, always ready for the next shot. But at the same time, when you have to coordinate other things with your hands, it is really important to have your hands free, and this is especially true if you don't use one of these neck straps for your cameras anymore. For me personally, that is kind of a thing of the past because I want to have my camera in my hands. I find that kind of strap is a hindrance. I'm using multiple cameras, like I have my Sony a7 III, I have my GoPro, I have my smartphone, I have a second GoPro for 360 shots. There's a lot of stuff I have to juggle around, and for that this clip is super extra helpful. Now, of course, this can also be a danger for your equipment because this clip can unscrew and fall down. It can get stuck, and maybe someone comes and just rips that camera from your shoulder. So it has a little bit of a risk involved. It has a little bit of downsides involved maybe also. So let's talk about the technical parts. Let's talk about the build quality and the design of that clip. So when we want to talk about the positive things, what stood out to me is that this clip, well, expectably for that high price, it's about 75 euros, or I think the dollar price should be the same. The build quality is really good, the materials are really good and sturdy, and the design is very nice and professional looking, so everything about it like just looks really nice and feels good and professional. That's the positive side. Now let's talk a little bit about the downsides, because I think there are some things that I don't like about the clip. Now, first of all, this plate that you screw to your camera, that is square in shape. And that might be a good idea. It might make it more secure. I'm not sure about that. But at the same time, because this is square and the slot is square where you push it into, it can get stuck when it's on an angle. So you have to push it in parallel to the slot, of course, but the strap is not always hanging in the right angle. So that can be a little bit fiddly. I think over time, when you get more experience with this camera clip, it is faster. So that might be resolved over time just with experience. I just found that sometimes I'm very stuck, and I really went to holding the clip with one hand and inserting the camera with the other hand. So I use this device with two hands. Now let's talk about the next one, and that is the screws. There's two sets of screws included. One are called thumb screws. They have a really big head to them, and you can screw them down with your fingers, with your thumbs. What I experienced with that is that these screws tend to open rather easily, and that is a downside because if they completely unscrew, the clip may just fall off, your camera may just fall down. There's a little bit of a help for that, where when these screws come loose and they stick out too far, like they come up too far, you can't insert the camera anymore, the camera gets stuck. So this is kind of a sign for you that something is wrong and you should check the screws. But I would think that these screws should be secure. And they don't come with washers either. Not normal washers, not secure locking washers. And they don't have a hole on the other side either where you could like stick a pin through that to make sure that the screw can't come out completely, right? So I would think that kind of needs a little bit of design improvement, but they also include Allen screws. And these screws, you also have a little Allen wrench that comes with that and a little designer bag. When you screw those down, they are super secure. I didn't experience that they come loose at all. You can screw them down really hard. That is very nice. That is a good solution. But for some reason, these screws are longer than the thumb screws, than the other screws. And so that means they stick out on the other side of your clip, and the edges of these screws are sharp, and they don't have any kind of cap to screw on there on the other side, which would be a nice addition to that. So I had the experience that these screws stick out, and if you have a thin strap on your shoulder, it will pinch you into your shoulder at points. And when I have a bigger strap, I kind of feel like this would scratch the material of my expensive backpack. I don't want to have holes in my backpack just because of the clip. So some kind of thing that I could screw on the other side that would keep that from happening, or maybe a sanded off nice round ending to the screw would be better, so I'm protected for these kind of damages to myself or to my backpack. So there are some downsides. One more thing that comes to mind: the clip has a locking mechanism, and that locking mechanism makes it so you can't pull the camera out, so it makes it more secure, so people can't just rip the camera from your shoulder and run away. But the downside for that is that this locking mechanism in itself can't be locked and can't be turned off. At least I didn't find a way to do that. And because this is the same button that you have to push to unlock the camera to get it off your shoulder, it is very easy to turn it a little bit to the side, and then this means it's kind of half locked and you can't push the camera inside. And that was a little bit annoying too, because you always have to make sure that this pin is in the unlock position so you can use the clip at all. But like I said, overall, I'm really happy with the product, and it really helped me a lot in Barcelona to have my hands free, to shoot faster, have faster, easier access to my camera to actually capture the shots that I want to capture. So overall, I'm really positive about that, but I feel for that price point, especially with a company called Peak Design, the design could be a little bit better, and they could have ironed out some of these downsides a little bit more, and also include more screws, like different lengths of these kind of screws, right? That would be nice. And also caps for the other side. Okay, that's it for my review for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Leave a like if you do. Write in the comments if you have additional questions, and see you in my tutorial or live stream. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Bye.